OBS is reconnecting. Where's my stream at? It looks like it's live. Reconnection successful. Good stuff. Don't give me a scare like that, although I think it has stopped the... I'll fucking take that. That is completely fine by me. You think generator is something that you can't beat when I just activate boss stage? Please, be my guest. What are you complaining about? Yeah, it's like, you know, and let's see what you could have lost to. I could have lost to fucking Gem Knights. Although they're using, like, all 2 Gem Knight cards. I feel like I would have lost a lot harder if it was just a Gem Knight deck. Although this is just, like, combo potential for days. They, like, absolutely had this game, right? Opened... What did I even open? I opened Boss Stage... Chalice. I can't even remember what I opened. Well, win is a win. And that is 4 legacy tickets, so we'll take them. Look back on the replay. Yeah, I might. But, like, that was not a phenomenal hand of ours. Meowth Click. We get annoyed with our opponent's field spells, but, this is not the card to do it. This is the exact opposite of what we need. Embodiment of Punishment. Great if we get Crime and can make rank 1s. Doriado. Chaos Command, Unibird. It brings back a Synchro. But it does just, like, take 2 for Monster Reborn, which is pretty bad. Legend of the Heart is awful. Pinpoint Guard is honestly better than, you know, Legend of the Heart. Is it maybe time to get back on V-Jam Turbo? No. But that is just the first thing I can think of with that one. Either that or just, like... No, Inspector Border can't be special summoned while you control a monster. Annoying Stuff Turbo. That's what that card is for. Tindangle Angel is probably one of the better Tindangles we could get for a generic flip strategy. A dupe shiny card that won't be used. Well, dupe cards, yes. Dupe shiny, no. Because we didn't even get one. Unless you really count the glossies as, like, shiny, but I don't know that I would. I'd count a royal as shiny. That is a dupe, you know, shiny that won't be used. And nothing particularly great. If we get the other parts to this, then, like, hey, this is Synchro 8s, but, like, it's still not amazing. Like, Ancient Gear Soldier is funny attack dot deck, right? It doesn't lose to Mirror Force or, like, Magic Cylinder. Wow. Right. Fast replay. You're gonna have, like, 2 seconds to look at the hand. So what did we actually draw apart from boss stage? We drew Alpha, we drew Naglfar, we drew Chalice and Trap Hole. And that's it. And you activate Field Spell, and that's the game. Man, I didn't know boss stage was an FTK. Okay, into the next duel. Alto. I feel like that's a singing term, but maybe I'm wrong. We're going second. We have not necessarily got to go in second hand. But I don't know what else we can really do. Oh, fucking fun. Fun incarnate. I mean, this thing's limited, right? But, like, are they going to put another face-up spell trap to begin with, like, at all? I guess, actually, maybe that was the excuse to destroy this. It probably was. But, like, is there any reason? Like, it's already done the thing, right? I'll leave it. It's a discard at worst. I don't think we're really beating Vanquished Soul with a Kashtira Fenrir just kind of chilling in the wings. We have all of Condemned Witch to search us a Forbidden Quick Play spell, which will then negate the Fenrir, and then we can't beat the Fenrir. The musical term alto, meaning high and... Yep, okay. I was correct. Neat. The more you know. Things I have learned today, and probably forget, you know, just as quickly. Yeah, I guess that's the important thing, isn't it? Because, they now don't control a second spell trap, and this is what I'd rather pop. So, like, in theory, I guess, yeah, I keep the Typhoon. In practice, maybe that doesn't do anything for me. Do you think they just have the big guy? He's just a field nuke, right? No, destroy one other card. Which one's the field nuke? This one. Dark Earth and Fire. And have you searched for this trap yet? No. I guess it's the thing of an archetype being thematically cool again, fighting game characters, tagging in, tagging out and everything. But just not being a playstyle that I particularly care about or vibe with. Especially because one of their more funny war crimes to do is reveal psychic damage of maxi, what, Shifter Ash Blossom or something like that. You could probably change the Dark one for a Bestial at this point, but, you know. Right, they're making a rank 5, which means they go into K9, which means they bridge, which means... I don't have anything to deal with this anymore. I've already sat through that much, and I should probably, like, just stick around at that point and at least see what the top deck is, but we just aren't beating that. We all know it. And that puts us back down at the bottom of Platinum 3. We go in second, so even if we drew boss stage, I don't think it's quite the same FTK for some reason. I feel like there are more steps to it when you go second. I've so rarely seen Yummy. I've seen the mates and everything, like the art, but I have just so rarely seen Yummy. Right, special summon. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to summon from the deck. I don't know what makes you think I will. And set 1, and set 2. Alright, boss stage. Ash Blossom, check. Okay, and we got it. I think I just want to go for a negate off the bat. Also, if they add a card, we gotta make them send a monster to the grave. That is okay. Anyway, please send a monster from your hand to the grave. Sending this one. Okay. No. They might be able to set a quick K9 quick play, but if they can't get into any Z's, what does it matter that they can set a K9 quick play? So yeah, that's A-okay. I'll care about the other 3 cards in your hand, which might do something. Right, that is a summon, and it is Chainlink 1 to summon. Wait, hold on. Okay, maybe that's not actually allowing it for some reason. This hasn't used its effects yet, so I think we just get rid of this anyway. Okay, it did allow it. Add a K9 spell trap. Now seems good enough. You control no level 5s again. You have a face down card that is for a quick play, Xyz play. I don't know why I started saying it like that. We played that fine. I got no idea what their hand could have been in that instance. Could have had Droll or Nib in it. I think everything else, maybe cross out. We didn't really activate anything that was, you know, cross out worthy, or it could be more Fuas. Right. We gotta win. Again. And you know what that means? It means apparently we've got enough legacy tickets. Which means another 6 random cards. Huzzah! I mean, it's cyber support, so hey, we have more for the eventual pile. No. 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 Absolutely not. Maybe, but probably not. I think that is pretty much just a detriment in every, you know, single scenario. The more I think about it. So 2 master packs, the interesting bit, right? The bit with the red pack, which gives us all the yellow shiny effects that, ooh, hold on, actually come into fruition. Hey, we have a second punk. That goes in the Cosmo Punk deck, 100%. Gets us a punk spell, which means the field spell? Maybe. Nothing else new. Infernoid Flood. That is certainly Infernoid support. Huh. I mean, it doesn't make the whole, like, Infernoid strategy playable off the bat, but it does help. That's, like, a payoff in the extra deck, you know? That's, like, the most available place. Pack number 2. But yeah, 2 cards are actually pretty good from that one. And I guess the Infernoid name we pulled earlier in that pack is probably a good thing as well. Ooh, Tiamaton again. That's another zombie support. Send a zombie or fiend or zombie ritual from hand or deck to grave, then add a ritual spell. Oh yeah, this is Vendread support, really, when it comes down to it. Which is, like, really cool, actually. Kage. Vanity's Fiend. That is a win con for the stun deck. That is absolutely a win con. Dull Happiness, which we already have. And Malice. No. Just no. We need Malice monsters anyway, but, like, absolutely not. Vanity's Fiend, though. I mean, it just goes in whatever stun deck you want to put it in at that point. There you go. Deck instantly improved. Yeah. There you go. What do we actually have in the way of, like, Infernoids, then? Okay, yeah, we don't have a whole load of names. We got 2 Patru, we got 1 of Decatron, which is, like, the single best name. Siete, we've got 4 of, we've got 4 Harmadic, and we've got 2 Sightsamus. What about the spells? Gain 100 per banished. If you control no or all our fiends, you can either add a banished Infernoid or special one from hand, ignoring summoning conditions. I feel like there are cards that reduce the levels. I know Predaplant counters reduce them. Unaffected by your opponent's card effects, okay. That helps, kind of. I don't know. Send a Void spell trap from your hand or field to the grave, special up to 3 from deck whose total levels equal exactly 8, ignoring summoning conditions. Yeah, I don't think Infernoids have their own, but I do think they exist. So, man, it's up to 3 whose total levels equal exactly 8. I have to summon exactly Deca Sightsamus. Like, there is not another combination. During each of your standby phases, send up to 2 names. During each of your standby phases, target an Infernoid to grave at its hand during each... Okay, so it's one of those 2. Yeah. I'm trying to think about the text, because the text of these kind of like level changing cards is always so weird. Right. How do we think? Oops. How do we think this is probably phrased? So... level becomes... I don't think any of these are what we're looking for. Like, this one changes its own level, but I don't think there's anything here that, like, makes the level of monsters on the field match at present. Target 1, it becomes level 4, 2 to 6. Target 1, it becomes level 1 to 3. It is a permanent thing, but I don't think that's, like, worth it. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, opponent controls specifically. And also, we then control a non-Infernoid monster. How many cards don't we own? Increase or decrease level? Maybe. But the thing is, like, the reason why I was like, ooh, Predaplant, is because the Predaplants make monsters above level 1 become level 1. Which is just like, that's what you want. You want to be able to drop it to a set value. Because that is much more important. I don't think any of the monsters are going to do it. I think it would be in a spell trap lineup. And by the looks of this... yeah, I don't think you can mass make your field level 1. Which is unfortunate. Decrease level. That's specifically for itself, that's for a virtual world, and I think the rest of those are going to be specific to their own. And those are all specific to themselves. Yeah, maybe that's not the way to think about Infernoid. Which is like really a shame, because there's like so many ways of increasing the level, I feel like, but actually dropping the level feels like it's just a much harder thing to do. Like, I'm sure everyone at this point has seen like stupid either Calculator or Dark Strike Fighter plays, like those kind of deals. But I don't think I've ever seen it where it's just like, oh, I'm gonna take this like level 12 monster and get it to level 1. I've never seen, like, the inverse. As far as going second hands go, I will take it. Cuts us off of earth effects. It just negates, it doesn't destroy. Oh, well, actually, yeah, I'll just banish the Harp Horror. I know that cuts me off of, like, my Fenrir access. But that's fine. I plan to get to search during the end phase. Do you plan to stop me? Yeah, it really does. Like, they can get going via other ways, but, like, you gotta take it out. You can't just leave it there for them. Machine token normal. I can't use tokens, right? Level 1 accept a token. Ah, that's unfortunate. If your opponent controls a card, you can activate this from the hand. You know what? Yeah, I feel like that's worth it. It cuts me off of my Fenrir effect, but you gotta draw the line somewhere. Galatea. How many monsters do we have in the deck that this conflicts with? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not that many in the main. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 extra. That is a little crazy and extra, though. And yeah, there you go, they just get to harp again anyway. So we're down our earth, light, wind effects. Yep. Link 2 for Galatea. Is there anything I can do with this? Like, just actually anything. I can make a... No, I can't make a link monster with it. It needs 2 effects. I can use it as synchro material. I can't use it as link material, basically, at the moment. And I can't really use it as synchro material proper because I don't have a tuner. I mean, I reckon they just keep going. Because they haven't used harp yet, and that's in the grave, which means they just, like, do everything, right? A Link 2 in most decks would be actually insane. A Link 2's worth of monsters in my deck is not so great. Haggard Lizardos would be able to, like, use them, but I'm not actually sure that that would be, like, a better play. Because this is still just a 2500 beat. And worst comes to worst, Destrudo just, like, synchros with something. Yeah, we don't have Light or Dark 10. But we don't need it. Spell trap a monster while you control an Orcus Link. Negate. That is 2 Orcus Links. You still have Harp as a quick effect if you don't want to use it on your own turn. There's Ding, so you get a send. Because you're not going to do the second effect, so you're probably going to get rid of Magma. Which does ruffle things a little bit. I do not like that so much. And in a funny twist, this token would be better off not on my side of the field at all anymore. That was slightly frustrating. Okay, I guess if Orcus can get to a Link 2, you don't banish the Harp, you try and banish something like mid-combo. Like, I guess you'd banish the Galatea Eye to stop the extension. That's what seems to make sense to me. Because this is, you know, obviously going to come up in the future, like this exact kind of play. Don't see how it couldn't. Link 4? Sure. Type one of your banish. Okay. Yeah. You get my token. As quick effects. During the main phase. Right, so wait, how do you... If this card is special summoned, you can special summon this card. So wait, I'm definitely missing something, right? This isn't an Orcus. Yeah, okay, I'm not quite understanding. They have a negate versus my Lopter, but the other thing is my Fenrir is negated for me, not for them. That is a cruel twist of fate. Normal summon. Like, you can do the thing and I'll tribute in response, and then you can negate that and destroy it. That's banished, right? Yeah, that's banished. Oh wait, hold on. Shuffle it in. No, shuffle it into the deck. I'm just a little confused. They're banishing the Dingirsu. I will hold for a minute because I'm a little... I don't know. I am a little confused. They're letting it go. Which means counter trap time, surely, right? So I can special summon this, but basically they just take control of the Fenrir, right? That's how this works. Yeah, they have a trigger here, and it's going to be that one. Which is really annoying. Just a little bit. Because, yeah, of course you're going to take control of Fenrir. Why wouldn't you? I don't know. Maybe there was a better point to interrupt them and you just gotta learn it, I guess. One step forward, one step backward, one step forward. And I'll give you 2 guesses. One finger. I mean, aside from being the called by, like, frame for the dead skull, and kind of like a interpretation of modern problems. What mean? Best believe we shotgun in it. Because we don't have fucking anything else. Maybe they lost the other 9. Yeah, sure. Yes. I have nothing. And if this gets you to use Ash or Call by the Grave, then so be it. Intense. Thinking. Thing is, a lot of combo decks don't play that heavily into, what's it? What is this one's name? Perulia. Because it's just summons from hand. And the better decks are just like, oh, we'll summon from deck, we'll summon from extra, we'll summon from graveyard. You only actually, like, normally get, like, what, 1 or 2 summons from, 1 or 2 cards from it. Longer combo decks, you can get, like, more cards, but it just doesn't feel like it happens often. At all. Which is a good thing, I think. Like, I'm all for these cards being basically no impact. Oh, you shouldn't have. That's completely fine. You go for it. Anyway. Fenrir. Backed up by 4 monster negates. And that works. Okay, we get Cashier Ogre. Just battle phase. Just hit him. First blood. Right, main 2. Set 1. Set 2. Set 3. Set 4. Your move. Fenrir, and I don't know if it constitutes as a dream, but his 2 chalices, the spooky ore of the woods, and blue eyes, I guess. I don't know. Aroma. Are you using the effect? Because I will let you. I think it benefits me better. Oh, you're not using the effect. Yeah, go for it. You didn't use the on-summon effect, so you're saving it for later, I guess. Plant does just kind of do everything. But, they've got to get there first. And I know they can play through some disruption, but I think I have a little bit more than some disruption. Well, let it attempt to begin. There's Nancion. If Link summon, choose a number 1 to 3. That seems fun, but no. And then you attempted to activate a monster effect. But no, I think I'll leave that on their board. Then if you tributed, add a plant with the same level. That's okay. Because now if they actually, you know, normal summon and use effect, we've got another negate, and there's a chance to just banish a piece face down, which feels like it's going to hit harder. During your main phase, you can special this. When your opponent activates monster effect while you control a break, shuffle this from your hand or grave. That's fine. So... and tribute a plant negate. I mean, what's to say no, because it denies them it, and it doesn't destroy. Fenrir remains on the field. Because you still have to get rid of this, that's the other thing. which means you're left with no board presence again. I achieved what I wanted. I want to know who keeps asking for plant support. Sunseed Jess. Exactly Sunseed Jess. No, I don't know, honestly. I'm not, like, annoyed at all the plant support. It's a long combo deck, and, like, you know, it sets up really, really strong end boards. But, like, I'm not, like, opposed to it. I don't think this list is the way to play it. Like, I am a little confused. Oh, wait, yeah, of course you're using these because you want to get to Genius Loci. And this one doesn't lock you, unlike Lordly Load. And you can add a Primate, so yeah, you just use Lordly Load as a rotor to get to Raw, and then use Raw as a starter to get to Genius. Which means you have 1... So, that's 8. That's 11. It's only 11 copies, 12 copies. I feel like they are short some dust, because otherwise you definitely change these ratios slightly, surely. I know people who play plants know, like, tend to know very well what they're doing. But surely just, like, more of this is better? I don't know how pressed you are for space in 6th, but I think you could cut something down. Also, this needs to reveal a Primate card, so you'd probably just cut this for an extra starter. Because you need to reveal a Primate card or a level 5 or higher. I don't think it's completely poorly built, but I think there are certain bits you could do to just make it better. I don't know plants, but I have played against 2 people who do know plants. I want to say 2 people. Yeah, because one of the guys who I did, like, play so frequently against at locals, a guy called Harry. Nice guy. I think he was studying for law. We were talking about plants, yeah. Because I just went against plants and kind of shut them out of the game by basically just not letting them get link material, ever. These cards aren't really doing much. But, yeah, I played against 2 people. Harry, who, kind of one-tricked it for a year. I mean, that will do it. Harry played, like, a whole bunch of decks, and, like, he was always pretty fun to go against. He liked, like, more competitive builds, but, like, he played plants for a little bit. But, of course, like, on the odd occasion, Sunseed Jess would also just happen to be at locals. And I think there was even maybe a locals or 2 where, like, they had a couple of friends over. I can't remember if they were also on plants. So, depending, I've been against, like, 2 or 3 plant players. It was rather funny to just kind of rib Harry about, like, hey, you're going to be judged so hard, you've gone up against Sunseed Jess, you're both playing plants. White Forest 2-2, most unfun. Neither of us won with skill. That is just how it is sometimes, which, you know, kind of sucks, but it's the game, right? I feel like this is a good card to have in the toolbox, like, actually. I don't think we're going to play it frequently, but this is nice to have. It's just piercing. We already have this, and it's not the good one? No. Double Cyclone is good removal. Template Skipper is supposed to be extension. It is just a special summon. It's kind of, you know, extension. He bricked game 1, I bricked game 2, game 3 we both bricked, and I bricked worse. There was no Yu-Gi-Oh! Played. You do just have that sometimes. One of the funnier kind of testing bits with, like, someone on a Discord I'm on, they'll test out, like, weird decks that they don't think are particularly good, like, in terms of a tournament or just, like, duels or what have you, but they're fun, right? And so I'll pick something that, like, I pet deck, because they're typically not the strongest of decks. I don't build them, like, necessarily optimally all the time, and they're just not, like, you know, top level. But it does lead to us, like, stalemating each other in the most stupid of ways. Like, they were on a, what was it, Materia Actor deck with the new support that just came out. And, of course, the best way to play Materia Actor is to just fill it with hand traps. Like, hand traps for days. But, yeah, so they would use all their hand traps trying to stop my Valmonica cards, and I would have, like, a guy on field and just try and hit, and they would defend, and, you know. It would be very little actual gameplay, but it was kind of funny because we just stalemated each other down to that level. Let's see. I was the only person, though, to take a game off the player who topped with Fiendsmith, Radiant Typhoon. Neat. Become mostly known for my wife variety. I'm gonna take a guess that's supposed to be wide. Yeah, it looks like wide. Yeah. Yeah. That feels like a good time to do it. I actually beat the guy who topped it when he was K9 Christian, beat him with DDD. DDD is a scary deck. Oh, did you already have the other one then? You surely have. Yeah, there's Maiden in White. So you get the True Light. Now, the good move is to use the Spell Trap Search. I would rather you use the Summon effect, but yeah. Did you already use Ash Blossom? You used Ash Blossom on my turn. It's now your turn. We wait. We hold. We've got two Bestials. One of them gives us a search, and the other one is just going to be extra interruption. At least that's the plan. They've used their normal summon. Discard a Sage. Okay, we wait. Although this does mean they're not doing anything for this turn. Like, they're not trying, or just, like, not doing anything at all. Bingo Machine, go. And Sage. Reveal 3 cards. Okay, no, that's fine. I think that's okay anyway. Blue Eyes, and Blue Eyes. We'll give you a Blue Eyes White Dragon. Shining Sark. Why are you on Shining Sark? This doesn't summon, which is unfortunate. Can't be destroyed by monster effects. I don't intend to. I also dueled Exosister when they went, well, yeah, that's my fault because they were letting my plays go through. Yeah. Alright, once again, what are you doing? What size deck is this? 6? You're on like 43 cards or something. 44 cards? I guess we're on 44 cards. That one goes for Dark Magician of Destruction. Is this just Dragoon? Is it in fact just Dragoon again? It best fucking not be. I mean, yeah. Some decks just cannot play through anything that's like Thua or Sea or Charmies. I have to kind of decide whether I'm like duel to duel, whether I'm on the kind of attitude of fuck it, we ball, or no, I'll pass and I'll like set some disruptions. Because I know that I'm just like, I don't play the conventional hand traps, so I'm getting OTK'd. On the other hand, my opponent could have just bricked on hand traps. And so yeah, you control the Dark Magician, you banish to draw it. Although this does just mention Dark Magician, I don't know why you didn't, like, just add it, like, off the bat. How many copies do you think an average deck plays? I imagine the average deck plays one of them. Which means, in theory, if they were to use it, it would be the perfect target for Impulse. Just saying. Special summon the Blue Eyes from your hand. I have to let that go. I don't like it, but I do have to let that go. Right, now here's where we stop you. Absolutely not. And while we're at it, let's get rid of that one. I don't want you doing that. For some reason. And no. Good stuff. I don't know why they surrendered on that. Like, okay, I got 2 Bestials summoned, and I have a search for a third one. But they're gonna hit over one of them. That leaves me with, at worst, like a rank 6 or a link 2. And whatever I top deck into. So, you know, there's that. It was just Dragoon, wasn't it? I really fucking hate it. They just make easier and easier ways to keep bringing this guy out, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Quintet Magician. Yeah, but, like, that's not the point. Quintet is just there because they've got the extra deck space. Like, why not? Like, my extra deck has Malevolent Sin in it. I'm possibly gonna make it. Probably not, but I possibly am. Another Mech Knight. Another Derek Rain. But those are the only 2 real dupes that we want. The rest of those are kinda awful. What about this pack? Surely this will do better, right? We have absolutely no premise for the second pack necessarily being better than the first one, but if you just believe hard enough, it could be true. Like, you could get a new Gagaga Bolt. Ah, that was so close to being a royal. If only your opponent controls a monster, summon a Dragoonity, Tuner, and a Winged Beast Dragoonity from deck. Wow. Wow. That's really damn good. Like, that's just, you know, okay, we're gonna have to look at the Dragoonity deck at some point again. Because, like, we have a significant amount of cards, and it just works with dragons, right? That's fun, but I don't know how you're summoning it back from the graveyard without Arcgrave or some kind of res. If you control a Gagaga, destroy. What do we have? What do we actually own at this point? So I've got Ascalon, which is not... I think this one's the better one. But this is still neat. Yeah, it cheats out another Synchro. And it's once per turn removal. This one is much better. It's Quick Effect Graveyard Disruption. And we're starting to get, like, the higher end of this pack as well. We're still missing out, like, some of the great stuff. Like, we're missing Dragon Ravine. You know, you can't really do a whole lot without Dragon Ravine. But we've got Glow, which is just Rota. We've got Oubliette, which is 3 copies of a Counter Trap. And it's any Dragoonity Synchro, which means we can get, like, you know, the lower end of it. We could get a 6, and that counts. It's still a negate. Let's see. During your main phase, equip a tuner from deck to the monster equipped with this card. That's also really good. And we picked up Ducks earlier this stream, right? Yeah, which requires something in Grave already, but it is still better support. So we're getting there. We're getting things. Let's see. Phalanx is good because it just specials while equipped. Remus is kind of an extender. Okay. Is it a tuner? It is a tuner. What are the ones? Like, because the little ones do have effects while being equipped, but we're looking for ones that either do things like treat them as tuners or special summon. But we got 2 of this, which is not so bad. Like this one, yeah, this also just special summons. That's cool. Okay. Enough dreaming. I'm not going to make that this second, because I don't think that's keeping up in Platinum still. I think it's fun, and I would like to play it at some point, but I don't think it's keeping up here. I'm still so surprised they just let us have that. Okay. They are choosing. We are going second, which means it's probably not Skull Servants, as the image might suggest. Again, what is it with just absolute, like, pile decks at the moment? 52-15. Impulse, 2 Bestials, and Cosmic Cyclone. Har is currently a brick, unless we draw Valor. Welcome to Plat. Yeah, apparently. It just feels... Oh, okay, ninjas. I don't know what I do against ninjas. Add a ninjutsu art. I need to, like, have something in the grave for this hand. I'm not actually sure that's going to happen. I gotta send one from hand to the grave, but ninjas actually have quite diverse attributes and types. I don't think you'd send... Okay. Maybe you would. I don't know. If you control ninjutsu art, destroy as many others, draw 2. Okay. And this is notably not a once per turn, so are you trying like a deep draw ninja deck? Is this an FTK? Set 1. Set 2. That's a lot of set cards. Yeah, you're not doing that, I'm doing that. On the other hand, I am legitimately scared of their back row. They could have so much stuff. Iron Thunder. Well, we have Cosmic to deal with exactly one thing, assuming it's continuous, because a lot of their ninjutsu arts are continuous, but of course not all of them. And they could just be on, like, generic spell traps as well. There's no reason they have to be on in-archetype thematics. I'll take that trade any day. You go for that. Is it just Floodgates then? Oh, hold on. I mean, I can't use in-hand effects anyway, so why not? Okay, so I want to hold on that, because it can't be activated this turn, and I can just Cosmic whatever they set. And they have... I mean, they could get the ninja monster from deck, right? Tool. Okay, so that's coming from deck. And then this is coming from grave. So negate that. It's just kind of there now. And we do that. And we get rid of this. And yeah, I'm good with that. I mean, sure it does the thing, but like... Ah, right, it's not actually summoned. Set. Your move. I control the big beatstick. You've got 2 dead zones and a mystery card, which hasn't done anything to this point. As long as you don't put your monster in this column, I will just trigger this. Without a shadow of a doubt. Okay. Olenoids. Great. That is genuinely fantastic. Oh no. Anyway, I don't really care, because it just needs to be sent from the field to the graveyard, so... Iron Thunder is going to destroy something. But I don't know why people really feel like they've been playing around Iron Thunder, which is ever so slightly annoying. It's a 52 card pile. It is not a very good 52 card pile, is it? I'm just gonna save Olenoids. It's not being threatened by anything. If specialed, right? If specialed. I guess they assume it's imperm. I guessed so. Anyway. Yeah, but the thing is, imperm you'd play, like, not necessarily into the monster column. You'd just play into, like, a column, right? Why this one? What are you doing? What is your deck? You've turned off your... Is it a masochist? Is it a Japanese or Chinese? Is it an Asian masochist account? Because the ninja cards in here have been good that we've seen. They just keep setting cards. I need, like, a normal summon. I know they have a bestial in hand. There we go. That will do it. Monsters in the hand would be a real pity if this was a monster on the field. Now, if it's called by, I can negate it and they just lose the game, right? It's not called by. I really don't know what it is, but it's just ever so slightly funny. What can you be thinking on? I know your hand. This set card has not done anything. Yeah, okay, cool. It's been, like, live the whole time, but it just, like, I don't know. If it was imperm, they had a chance to use it there, so it was not imperm. Is it another Mind Drain? You can just have multiple of them. And that's the thing, it's not a Masochist deck, this is a ninja deck. I'm so confused. Like... if you control a ninja, you can special this. That's an activated effect, I believe, right? Because... do we have a different one? Yeah, that's an activated effect, this one. So you've turned off this, you've turned off this, you've turned off this. Yeah, that's definitely an effect. You can send this card... why are you on Mind Drain? That is absolutely horrendous anti-synergy. Alright, we got 3 legacy tickets. Let's see what 6 cards can change up the viability of all decks. Dark Lucius level 6, that is not it. Nor is Cave Dragon. Boganian, Rhinotaurus, Headhuntress, Aquarium Sage. Okay. Like, this is mildly decent, but that's, like, as far as it goes. This is, you know, ye old burn card. And, yep. I think that's all we need to say about them, unfortunately. New pack. New cards? Maybe? Just a chance? No, same card. Another Dynamist card, but I think we're more missing out on Pendulum Monsters for that. And we do not really want any of those. I should probably read Dynamist Rush before dismissing it, but I'm pretty sure that, like, we're too short on the monster count before we even begin to think about it. Morphtronic, which can just be ignored off the bat. Another Memento Fusion, when we just do not have enough for Memento. This is a good card. Don't know if that's just good in our current deck, or if we just want to relegate it to, like, a stun deck. We don't have, like, the Mayakashi line. You need, like, everything. Yeah, we don't have any of the Memento Fusions. It's good for all decks. I guess, yeah. What would we be changing it for? Because it's a 1-for-1 trade, right? You can't really change it for, like, Breakthrough or Lost Wind, because these two have, like, 2 uses. You could change it for Nightmare, but Nightmare stops, like, an on-field effect later, which is actually pretty valuable. It doesn't banish, it still targets. And returning to the deck is a more valuable form of removal. The only thing is that Dynamicious is a monster, but I think maybe that's the swap. Because there's a lot of the time where we've had this in hand, or like where we've had it and we just don't want to discard for one reason or other, right? Are we going to take that monster to our field? Either graveyard to your field. Yeah, okay, I think the actual move is swapping out Dynamicious for the Starry Dragon cycle. I do like Starry Dragon cycle. I used to play it as like my tech going first for like a couple of decks. I decided it because I didn't want to know. I don't think it's always good going first, but I think it generally is. We are going second, surprise, surprise. I really hope we can clutch this. We're like 1 win. And it's not really a go in second hand, but maybe we can make it work. We've got Tactics, Chalice, and Assault Synchron. It's... okay, so they are going to get to Pep. The sleeves are accurate, you know? And that Pep will be unaffected. Unaffected by activated. This is activated. What is not activated in my deck? Crackdown is not activated. Yeah, Crackdown's kind of my out. Nothing else here is kind of like a passive, just continuous thing. No, nothing. Nothing is passive continuous. So, unless I can do, like, enough burn, because they've dropped their life points down low enough, which isn't happening, I need to find Crackdown. And if I am doing burn, I don't think I have all that much. There's not any in the extra deck. Right, no, it's not really burn, it's just battle damage from, like, piercing or having, like, a low attack monster. And that turns into Jam Fever, which pay 600 to attach draw. Or negate a monster effect and destroy. Oh, that gives them the gain. That is a crazy effect for during the opponent's turn. Like, okay, you have to tribute it, but that is kind of mental. I was so psyched up for Pep, and I think Pep would probably be a bit easier, because at least it's not aggro. This does lock me into synchros while it's face up, which is a problem. Right, so I can make like a Link one and try and force that and steal and then maybe go for a Link 2. We'll see. I think they just use their traps to deal with it, right? Like, there's no reason for them to use the monster effects. That is okay. I want to make sure that they use a monster effect. Oh. Alright. Yeah, go for it. Right. I want to steal. You have to target a special summon monster I control. Let's see. So yeah, we just take this, right? During your opponent's turn. And I only control this until the end phase. Right, now in theory that comes back under my control, but it's the question of do I want that? I think it comes back under my control because it remembers that, like, Tactics is online. So yeah, we'll leave that as is. Continue your main phase, yeah. We'll set 1. Yeah, I could be horrendously wrong. If I am, I am. Return them in your next standby phase. I think it's fine. But maybe I'm wrong. There's Axon Kicker Oracle. Gains 1,000 attack. Yeah. I think I am just dead. So... Ah, no, I have it. And triple tax. Oh, it does just give it back. Alright. Dumb. If it's just going to give it back, why put it on my field in the first place, honestly? Like, surely it doesn't remember that it's being taken by triple tack. Why would it? It got banished. I mean, yeah, but like... I don't know, it just feels weird. Like, it feels like you should just skip the middleman in that step and just, well, this is... I gotta hate spell traps. And if hating spell traps isn't strong enough, then we might lose this. Well, the more you know. Rulings. I should have negated the Psyframe, I guess. Don't think that would have actually swung the duel at all in my favour, but... guess I should have negated it. Or at least tried to. I don't even know what the set cards were. One of them was Teleport Fusion, don't know what the other one was. Is what is. On the other hand, this means that maybe they are getting either the field spell or the continuous spell, which means that something here is going to put in work. It's the normal spell. It could have been any of them, but it was, of course, that one. Okay. Ah, what are you getting? Is that to get Fenrir? Or are you actually on just like K9? You're in fact on K9. Wow, surprise, surprise. They had like a card that you want to stop that's an actual spell trap. But it's like, it's just the one card. There's, yep, Fenrir. So, I believe they are just going for a Rise Heart, and I believe they're going to get to him. What are the odds of us just being dead? Because I think they're pretty high. They haven't gone for a single continuous spell, continuous trap, or field spell. They could literally just... I think you can summon this. No. If you had the Fenrir in attack position, you would just have game. Well, I haven't activated a monster effect, so they don't get the bonus effect. They are treating my face downs with some real threat levels, you know. They are feeling very intimidated. Special summon both it and this can't be used as XCs for a light. Okay. I will say I'm very happy that it's just kind of been able to, like, you know, do a little flicker of these cards can be activated all the time. That's Quick Play spell, which I cannot stop. You're just gonna go in and battle, like, you know, you've taken long enough at this point. Yeah. I don't have anything! Oh. Why are you so rough? Come on. What are with the hands today, honestly? Like, the ones I've won don't feel like they've been deserved. for the most part. And the ones I've lost, I have just, like, drawn Spell Trap hate for non-Spell Trap decks, or, like, you know, kind of akin to that. Hey, yo, what's up? Again, the fuck am I supposed to do with these kind of hands? Like, just being completely serious, right? This is a hand that gives me a tuner, and a monster that is a non-tuner that I can't summon because I can't get any of the other ones in the fucking graveyard. I have Trap Tricks, Trap Hole, Nightmare to stop my opponent. I have exactly this one card, and have to hope it does enough. No. Bye. Cease your turn. I can't believe it didn't work, guys. You mean the one trap card didn't end my opponent's whole career? Yep, Banish Ogre. What did we get rid of? The field spell! Is that the whole turn? I genuinely actually stopped them from doing something. Star Dragon Cycle. I mean, it's something. Special summon Helios the Primordial. Oh, wait, hold on. That's, like, kind of neat, though. It's face down banish, it can't check. Right, that's fine. Get banished. Main 2. Set. Interactive gameplay. Fun times. Oh. Right, come on. Surely we could do something, right? I mean, this is just depth. Like, you see what I mean? This is not an earned win, right? So why just, like, that easy, you know? I summoned a 1600 beat stick. Like, their deck they can't have bricked that bad that a 1600 beat stick is the end of the line. Surely not. I mean, honestly, you know what their mistake was? They didn't put in a Macrocosmos target. That's it. That's what their deck building mistake is, right? Obviously. Right, we take those. Dumb win. One pack. No, we'll just do the master packs. And get some definitely defining cards that are going to change up the deck in an important way, maybe. It is an ultra rare. That could be so important. Oh, it's 2 ultra rares. The other cards are duplicates, of which I think this one's mildly decent, and Kendama is not too bad. It's not too bad. Loonlight Saber Dancer, which requires 3... Oh, it doesn't require fusion specifically. Can't be targeted, gains 200. During your main phase, banish this, target a fusion, it gains 3. So, like, it's a 36 untargetable beat stick. On the other hand, right. So this guy doesn't have a spell counter effect to get him out of the spell trap zone. We have to rely on the other spell counter cards. Well, that was only the first pack. So we do have to look at the second pack, you know, before we get to brainstorming ideas. We do have cards that mention spell counters, I just forget how many and their relevance, because I'm pretty sure they're not that good. Much like that pack, Jesus Christ. Just, what does it take to get some NRs that we don't actually possess already, you know? URs we don't possess, like, there's plenty. But, like, NRs we don't possess? Alright, this is every card that mentions spell counter that we have and don't have. Which includes a few things that are actually meant to support Endymion, like the Magical Exemplar, which does have a way to place spell counters. And Royal Magical Library, which has a way to get more cards, but like doesn't particularly plan on keeping them. We have a couple Mythical Beasts, and we have a couple of Pendulums mentioning Endymion. Each time a spell. Okay, so we have a couple low scales and a high scale, and plenty of 4s. And in terms of our spells, what do we actually have? So we have Arcane Barrier, which can get spell counters each time a spellcaster is destroyed. Then you can. Okay, so I don't have to fulfill that. That does just place a spell counter. That places spell counters each time a Mythical Beast Pendulum is destroyed. That works with the Mythical Beast. Okay, so maybe there is something there. I don't really think it's great. Wait a minute. So yeah, we could do like Mythical Beasts and Endymion. It's far from good. And this guy can place spell counters on himself as well. But I don't know how good that is. It's certainly something. What about Lunalight? We actually have some Lunalight things. Using monsters from your hand or field. But the thing is, this archetype likes just having access to polymerization, right? If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target a poly in your grave. Where's the actual rotor? This is the actual rotor. Just this one, which is part of the new wave of support. Isn't there anything? Discard this card, add a Lunalight, or add a poly. You have a Lunalight fusion. Yeah, but like, they like having access to polymerization. Like, they do just have an in-archetype rotor for it. Special Lunalight from hand. If special target, special Lunalight from deck, you are next to the Lunalight fusion. Yeah, this thing. Alright. But yeah, what else? Because we're trying to work out what we have. It doesn't look like we have a lot. Because that adds from grave. Like, everything is so grave focused. And they all kind of need to be sent to the graveyard by a card effect. This is the loops. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can add. So yeah, we need to put them in the graveyard first. Which appears to be the problem, because we need to put them in the graveyard by card effect. Once per turn, target a Lunalight in your grave, special it, but it can't. Yeah. Everything's like, you know, put it in the grave, then do the thing. This is also just a fusion. Banishing materials from your field or grave. You see, that's playable. But it's still not, like, great. This doesn't feel like it has any kind of consistency to it. Like, this is a beat stick. This is a beat stick, which requires Cat Dancer as material. So that needs 2 fusion summons. That's an extender. That's an extender. That's an extender. And protection. This is an extend. Like, that's a, yeah. So We're missing the things that really make it like an actual functioning deck, apparently. Because we also just don't have poly. Alright. Go for probably another duel, and then that'll be, well, where are we at? We're like 2 duels to rank up, aren't we? Right, okay, we'll see. If we get a win, we'll go for another. And then if we lose that, we'll call it. We're either going to hit Plat 2, or we're going to lose a couple duels. No, we're going to lose 1 duel, or we'll hit Plat 2. That's the way it's going to go. And chain on. Give me draws, please. They thinking. Standby phase Perulia, that could mean anything. Like my opponent being on a bad Molch army. That's the thing that has surprised me a little bit, because, like, people would run just, like, 3C, 3 Fua, if that was, you know, the legal list at the point, right? And then it's obviously gone down to 2C and 3 Fua, and now it's down to, like, 1C and 3 Fua, right? But, like, they haven't replaced the C with other Charmies. Which, granted, okay, they're not as, like, big use case, but surely, like, you still want draw cards. Unless your deck space is just that tight anyway, that you'd rather fill it with the other things. I don't know. Oh, that's 1 draw. So I guess they've chosen to combo. Or at least, you know, start going. They're probably going to finish on something pretty decent. Oh, okay, do you not need to search that many times then? I mean, I'll still take an upstart. You probably should have done it after you did the thing. That was yummy. Now what? You seem to be forgetting. For this card to Synchro Summon, if this card is Synchro Summon, you can Special Summon 2. When your opponent activates a card, Special Summon up to 2. Wait. So, light. Yeah, I feel like we just do this. And we target the Linker Evo, because that's going to go anyway, and it threatens this. Like, if they now tag out, then that's just completely fine by me, but they won't be able to tag out on the next... Yeah, there we go. And it doesn't get its effect, right? Oh, but they can destroy that monster. Okay. Damn, they destroyed my 1 actual monster. And they make a Link one again. There's Snatchy. Place a Yummy Field. Yeah. Of course, that does get around roll. I guess I just needed to wait until end phase to do it. That probably was it. Oh, what are you doing? You can't, like, draw cards. You can't search for cards. Cupsy Yummy Way. If Synchro Summon, you can add 2 Yummy cards. Yeah, that's not happening. I'm still here. Don't you dare say that I'm, you know... Yeah, there we go. Mystery card. Destruido. I mean, they do just, like, tag out, right? So, we normal summon, we maybe get a search. They are probably going to tag out at some point. They, in fact, do tag out, which means we can negate that monster's effects. It means that we can... Oh, okay. Right. I can make it big, big, big. I kind of have to negate that. But they are just going to synchro summon. They are literally just going to quick effect during the main phase or your opponent's battle phase. They are very much just going to synchro summon. Oh, but I've clicked it anyway. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. This one. I shouldn't have done anything. I should have just, like, held it and then used triple tack. Dumb. Anyway. No shot there's no once per turn. Okay, wait, you can only use each of the following. Right, okay. But that is a tuner. Why is it a tuner? Fuck me, man. I'm gonna draw 2. There's no point actually trying to take control of their monster. And apparently there was no point in drawing 2 either. Love to fucking see it. There was just not a point. The thing is, it's when your opponent activates a card or effect. I'm not going to. They might think this is imperm, but, like, I don't have any monsters, so they can't proactively do anything about it. They've just kind of got to resign this to being done. I really don't want that. But I don't really think I have a better option. I think I just have to leave that. There's a synchro. I mean, chain blocking with it? Fucking... because it's not in a column. Oh no, because it's already face up on the field, right? Fucking chain blocking, my god. I had one thing. You see, this is the other duality of Master Duel. You could put in, like, Light Imprisoning Mirror for, like, half the matchups and just go second and not see it. That's an option. But you could also just get hit by the Dark deck. You put in Dark Imprisoning Mirror and just run up against Blue Eyes and yummy. What was I actually supposed to do during this duel? And am I just dead? There's a follow-up question. Because I don't know. Like, there's no way I was supposed to halve my life points for, like, one of the littles. Also, isn't this all tuners? Okay, that's not. So you can now make a 4. That's just bad. That's just DMing. Why would you not give me something good? That's mean. You don't have a tuner in the grave. Is that it? I don't know. A little confused at that one. Well, they've got 77. They need a whole 300 more, and they can just kill me. I'm gonna take a guess that maybe one of them... No, that's just it. That's just game. Well, that's the end of the stream. What am I supposed to do against the confectionery attacking me for my life savings? I don't want to play the claw machines anymore. I don't like it. It's not a fun time. I've got my dailies done, I guess there's that. And my Switch is charged. Something I actually do want to do, but like much more on my own time, is like the Dice Rally. This is an event I genuinely like. Can I... How do you zoom out on this? How do you actually zoom out on that map? You used to be able to. There we go. But yeah, I think like this is one of them more fun events. Assuming that you actually decide to like play it how they want you to. Which is like, oh wow, you're being given a card at the start of the duel. Maybe build a deck around it. Like, that seems pretty cool. Like, it seems pretty fun. And then you've got all the event missions that they always do. You've got different rewards. You get different cards that you can get. Different cards that you can't obtain this time. Which I think is fine. You gotta play around with some different things. But yeah, I'm looking forward to actually doing that in my own time, methinks. Until I sit down, inevitably, and find that it's miserable. That is just genuinely an option. But for now, you get a mate as a reward. Yeah, that's too. Like, that's actually kind of neat. And it's not, like, the most painful thing to sit through from the last one I played. Hey! We've won 800 duels. Let's go. Which means we won 9 this stream. We also need to change that for 129. And how many have we played? We have played 2051. That's not necessarily encouraging. We've won just under half. Yeah, that's 19 duels. We've won 9. It's just under half, but it's still kind of above what we want, I guess. It's still above that 33%. So there's that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing the Dice Rally in my own time because, like, hey, cool rewards, many free gems, and, in theory, interesting duels. But anyway, it is about that time. Thank you all very much for actually tuning in, watching, supporting me, having a little bit of chat. And thank you very much for watching the VOD, if you're one of the people who are doing that. My name is Cat Monarch, and I look forward to catching up with you all next time on Thursday. So, goodbye for now.